a lot of people want to know how to stop living in the past, which begs the question, who are you? Who is this audience? Are you a bunch of sinners? Is 90% of the people watching this prisoners? Well, asking ye shall receive, purely because I think it might do slightly better in the algorithm, so here we go. Strap yourselves in. I would say, and I have discussed previous topics on how to actually do this well, of actually, removing bad memories from your past. You can do that. You can just sit there, you can think about it, you can make it go faster, you can make it go slower, you can make it look more humorous. Just give yourself some of these every time you start thinking about it instead of going, that's humorous, that's what's indicated by humor, isn't it? I'm not a robot. And there's all of those videos in this channel, and I'm not going to tell you what the names of them are, A, because I can't remember them, B, because I want more clicks. But the other thing is that let's just talk about the general concept of, stop living in the past. Look, if you are looking into the future, the negative emotion that is associated with that usually is anxiety. And when you're looking into the past, usually it's depression. The past is usually filled with a lot of regrets and a lot of, what if I did this, what if I did that? In fact, that's what that whole book Transitions is about. The older you get, the more choices you had in life, where you went down one road, and purely because you went down that road, that grass is always greener on the other side mentality kicks in. You look over at that and you go, hey, it is greener. I know they say it, I know that that's true, but still, it looks pretty fucking green. That, I think, is what happens to you when you are living in the past. There's two reasons that you would have a negative association to the past. It would either be the fact that you took one direction and wishing that you took the other direction, and then the other one is just, oh, I shouldn't have done that. So let's just deal with the I shouldn't have done that one first. All right. A lot of those things, and I'm just talking from personal experience here, most of my memories that just flash into my head, where I wake up in the morning and think, fuck, not getting out today. Those ones usually are me on stage bombing. I have 30 solid memories that just come in like a rotation, like a little tie rack going, yeah, that was that one time at Circular Quay, and ooh, don't forget the one in Bankstown. That happens to be throughout my day. And you know what I've realized? You know what I used to do when that happened? I'd have this automatic Pavlovian response of just going, fuck! It was quite Tourette'sy. But now, when it happens, I have trained myself to go, yes! And the reason that I've trained myself to go, yes! First, by just doing it, by saying fuck and then just screaming, yes! The reason that you want to do that is because you want to link up in your mind that those, I shouldn't have done those moments of living in the past. You want to link up that those were pivotal to your success. If I didn't bomb that many times, I would not be as strong a performer as I am today. Because I wouldn't have gone up and done those bombings. Because it's just a necessary part of a comedian's life. They have to be publicly humiliated. Many times. Now in the digital age, it's a lot easier. But, Bill Burr's time or whatever, I got off lucky in comparison to him. He was saying that the first 12 years of his entire career was not knowing if he was going to bomb on stage or not. For 12 years. Now, obviously, he's an extremely strong, seasoned performer as a result of that. But just having those experiences in yourself, the thing that it teaches you is that you're not going to die if everyone sits there and goes, yeah, that one sucked, mate. Boo! All that happens is you start yelling back at them, and after a while you get really good at it, and then you're able to win the audience over by making them hate the heckler more than you. It's a beautiful thing. So there's all of these things that you learn from those I shouldn't have done that. It's exactly the same process that's happening in your mind as when you yell at a dog heaps for chewing up a remote, and then every time you pick up the new remote and show the dog instantly goes, that's what's happening to you. Those are what those little, regretful memories firing off in your life are. It's just your nervous system being taught on a deep cellular level, no! And obviously, I've given you methods of how to deal with that better if you want to do that. Find that in your own time. I'm busy. But if you want to just have a general overview of how to, I guess, experience those past experiences, that's how you should be looking at it. You should be looking at it as the fact that you have those memories means that you pushed yourself. And the fact that you pushed yourself should be rewarded and celebrated, not a thing of remorse like it's your own personal fucking Anzac Day. Like, you should be sitting there and saying, sick, I did that, other people didn't do it, that's why I'm a little higher up in life, because I have more of those experiences. That's the first point. Second point, I guess, is I went down this path, I should have gone down another path. What are those usually? It's usually, I don't know, I should have studied this degree instead of studying that degree. I wish that things with my girlfriend worked out better, but I was too selfish. I am what most of Bruno Mars's songs were about. I should have bought flowers. Shut up, Bruno. Sorry. Yeah, all right, yeah. Give me the general swath of hate of just like, he's this generation's Michael Jackson. Just fucking get it over with. Look. Okay. With those things, where it's I should have gone down this path, I went down this path instead. The first thing that I think that you should register is that it doesn't matter if you went down that path, you will have regrets and think the way that you thought that you're thinking about not doing that, you'll think that about the path that you chose. So just understand that that is just part of the normal human condition. The other thing that I would stress is that most of the time, when you didn't go down that path, usually your life actually panned out a lot better. Now, say that it's your first girlfriend or whatever, and then you guys broke up and then you found another girlfriend. Well, first off, the other girlfriend, because you've probably grown as a human being since then, they're probably a better person than the first one. It's ditto with boyfriends or whatever. But the other thing, and if it didn't, then you probably just break up anyway. But the other thing that I would suggest about those scenarios is, even if that is the case, even if the first person was better or the first degree was a better choice, even if any of that was true, the fact that you pushed yourself through something that was hell-ish, you learnt things. Because it is always the same. When you are striked up against adversity, that is when the human spirit sort of flourishes. It's kind of like cutting back leaves on a rose, so it comes back and goes, 6 more roses. Sort of. All of the things that I regret doing, I built something better out of. So, with the degree, for instance, I have that exact sentiment. I really wish that I didn't do a degree. And I specifically wish that I didn't do international relations, because as I've said 1,000 times before, there was just one lecturer that was worth the money. The rest of it was a complete waste of time and made me know less about politics than I did coming in. But what was good about it was the fact that afterwards I'd accumulated a lot of time as just sitting there, and I didn't pay attention to the political degree, but I was in the environment where I could make the Friendly Geordies team, where I could learn the necessary lessons that I needed to learn from the library there. There was all of these side benefits to the fact that I went there. There was also a stand-up night at UNSW, and that gave you the courage to go there, and then you started going to dingier and dingier bars looking for that laugh rush, yo. And if I wasn't at university, I don't think I would have had the courage to go into one of those bars, because I don't have the courage to go into them now. Just a bunch of bikies sitting around that as soon as you open the door, they just go, what a cunt. He doesn't have any tats. That wouldn't have happened. Even if you did choose the wrong path, there are all of these converging paths that happen to whatever path you choose in life. Because it's a very conflicting, windy labyrinth. And so, if you are going down that path and you regret going down that path and you think I should have gone down that one, first off, there's always just a path to go to that one really if you want to. And I don't know, like maybe in relationships and stuff like that, that's burned. But hey, did you know that there's 3 billion people you could potentially have sex with on Earth? True. So you do that, right? You just, you take what you have from that path and then you apply it to the next path that you will be taking in life. So even if you are regretting the decisions that you made at that point, There is many lessons to be learned from it. And the whole thing of you sitting there saying like, this isn't right, I should have gone down that in itself is a lesson that, okay, my principles are more aligned to this direction. So you try and move your future to that. So it's not so much this thing of like not living in the past. If you're constantly sitting there regretting and stewing on things, it's very easy to get out of that. What do? You get present. You just breathe deeply. You think about those memories. You distort them in your mind. You think about what you're excited in the future. You write down, the 10 things that you can be grateful for in your current life. The goals that you want to accomplish. You start visualizing those goals so you just get your brain off that track. But if your brain just wanders into those moments of life, that's a good thing. That is good because it is giving you some introspection on yourself and what your, for lack of a less lame word, soul wants to do with life. So, what do I want from you? The usual. What? I haven't got that accustomed yet? Are we still at that point where we walk into a restaurant and you say, I'll get the usual, thanks, Mick, and they go, what's usual? That would be a humiliating day. Is that what's happened? Well, I'm just not going to say it. Let's just see if you can figure out what I want.